The Alani were nomads, fierce horsemen of the Eurasian steppe, their lands a vast expanse stretching from the Black Sea to the Caspian. For centuries they roamed free. Masters of the saddle, their lives were intertwined with the rhythm of the windswept plains. Horses were their companions, warfare their trade. Skilled with bow and arrow, the Alani were renowned archers. Their arrows could find their mark with deadly accuracy. They were a formidable force in battle. Their reputation spread far and wide, reaching the ears of even the mighty Roman Empire. Rome, ever hungry for skilled warriors, saw in the Alani a valuable asset. The legions, though disciplined and mighty, could always use more cavalry. The Alani, with their equestrian prowess, were a perfect fit, and so began the unlikely partnership between the Roman war machine and the nomadic horsemen of the steppe. But the Alani were not mere pawns in Rome's games. They were a proud and independent people. Their decision to fight for Rome was a pragmatic one. It brought them wealth, land, and the opportunity to prove their mettle against new enemies. Yet the spirit of the steppe, the yearning for freedom, still burned brightly within their hearts. The Alani's journey westward began not out of choice but necessity. Pressure from other nomadic tribes, driven by forces unknown, forced their hand. The Huns, a fierce and terrifying force, emerged from the east. Their arrival sent shockwaves across the steppes, upending the established order. The Huns were relentless. Their hunger for conquest knew no bounds. The Alani, caught in the storm, faced a difficult choice: fight and risk annihilation, or flee and seek a new destiny. Many chose the former, falling in desperate battles against the Hunnic onslaught. Those who chose flight were forced to abandon their ancestral lands. They packed their meager belongings, gathered their families and rode west. Their path led them across the vast expanse of the Ukrainian steppe, their horses' hooves kicking up dust as they journeyed towards an uncertain future. Driven by the spectre of war and the hope of a new life, the Alani pressed on. They crossed rivers and plains, their numbers dwindling with each passing day. Theirs was a journey fraught with danger, a desperate gamble for survival. The road west was not an empty one. It teemed with other tribes and peoples, each with their own ambitions and fears. The Alani, hardened by the harsh realities of the steppe, were not ones to shy away from conflict. They fought their way through hostile territories, their skills in warfare honed by necessity. Survival often demanded alliances, however uneasy. The Alani, masters of diplomacy as much as warfare, negotiated their passage with other tribes. Sometimes these alliances were born out of mutual respect, a shared understanding of the dangers they faced. At other times they were forged in the crucible of battle, the victors dictating the terms. Through cunning and courage, the Alani navigated this treacherous landscape. They faced down threats from Germanic tribes, their horses clashing with the fury of a steppe storm. They learned to adapt, incorporating new tactics and strategies into their repertoire. Every battle, every alliance was a testament to their resilience, a testament to their will to survive. Word of the Alani's prowess reached the Roman Empire. Here was a force to be reckoned with, a potential asset in Rome's endless wars. Roman emissaries, cloaked in togas of authority, sought out the Alani leaders. They offered a deal: serve in the Roman army and in return receive land, wealth, and the protection of the empire. For the Alani, it was a chance to catch their breath, to rebuild their lives after the devastation they had endured. Service to Rome offered stability, a chance to raise their families in peace, but it also meant bending the knee, submitting to the will of a foreign power. The decision to join Rome was not unanimous. Some Alani elders saw it as a betrayal of their nomadic heritage, a surrender of their freedom, but the lure of security, of a land to call their own, proved too strong for many. And so the Alani, once masters of their own destiny, became soldiers in the Roman army, their fate intertwined with that of the empire. Section 5, across Gaul's expanse, a new land, familiar strife. The Alani, now integrated into the Roman military machine, were deployed to Gaul. This new land, with its rolling hills and fertile valleys, was a far cry from the open steppes of their homeland. Yet, the life of a soldier remained the same, a cycle of marches, skirmishes and battles. The Roman Empire was vast, but its borders were constantly under threat. The Alani, alongside their Roman comrades, found themselves facing enemies both old and new. They fought against Germanic tribes, their steppe-honed skills put to the test against the ferocity of the north. They learned to adapt to new terrains, their horses' hooves pounding across the muddy fields of Gaul. Life in the Roman army was harsh, unforgiving, but the Alani were survivors. They endured the discipline, the brutal training, the constant threat of death. They proved their worth time and again, their loyalty to Rome never truly tested, yet beneath the surface the embers of their independent spirit still flickered. Section 6. The Turning Tide. Alans against Rome. A rebellion ignited. As decades passed, resentment simmered within the Alani ranks. The promises made by Rome of land and autonomy rang hollow. They were treated as second-class citizens, their contributions to the empire undervalued. The spirit of the steppe, the yearning for freedom, reasserted itself. The breaking point came when a Roman governor, blinded by greed and prejudice, attempted to seize Alani lands. This act of betrayal ignited a firestorm of rebellion. The Alani, their patience exhausted, rose up against their former masters. They abandoned their posts, their loyalty to Rome shattered. The rebellion spread like wildfire. Alani warriors, their battle cries echoing across the Gallic countryside, attacked Roman settlements and military outposts. They were joined by other disaffected tribes, united in their hatred of Roman oppression. The empire, already stretched thin by internal strife and external threats, faced a new and dangerous enemy, its own soldiers. Section 7. To Albion's shores, a desperate gamble, a new home sought. With the Roman Empire in turmoil, the Alani found themselves at a crossroads. They had tasted freedom, but their rebellion was faltering. The Roman legions, though weakened, were still a formidable force. The Alani leaders knew they could not defeat Rome, but they refused to return to servitude. Desperate, they made a fateful decision to seek refuge in the distant land of Albion, known to the Romans as Britannia. It was a perilous gamble, a journey across a treacherous sea to an unknown land. But for the Alani, it represented a glimmer of hope, a chance to start anew. They gathered their families, their few remaining possessions, and set sail. Their longships, battered but sturdy, cut through the waves, carrying the dreams of a people yearning for a home. The journey was long and arduous, fraught with storms and the constant fear of Roman pursuit. But the Alani, hardened by years of hardship, refused to give up hope. Section 8. The Emerald Isle. Ireland's embrace, a legacy begun. The Alani's ships, buffeted by storms and guided by fate, made landfall not on the shores of Albion but on the Emerald Isle of Ireland. It was a land shrouded in mist and legend, a land of fierce warriors and ancient traditions. The arrival of the Alani, battle-hardened and desperate, could have sparked conflict. Instead, it marked the beginning of a new chapter in their history. The Irish, known for their hospitality and their pragmatism, saw in the Alani a valuable ally. These were skilled warriors, experienced horsemen, a potential asset in the ever-shifting alliances and rivalries of the Gaelic world. And so the Alani were welcomed, their skills and knowledge eagerly absorbed. They integrated into Irish society, their language and customs gradually blending with those of their hosts. They fought alongside Irish kings, their steppe-honed tactics adding a new dimension to Gaelic warfare. They married into Irish families, their bloodline weaving itself into the tapestry of Irish history. Section 9. Echoes in the Mist. The Alani mark on Ireland's soul. The Alani, once a nomadic people roaming the vast steppes of Eurasia, found a new home on the Emerald Isle. Their journey, a testament to their resilience and adaptability, left an indelible mark on the history and culture of Ireland. Though their name may have faded from common memory, their legacy lives on. Traces of their influence can be seen in Irish folklore, in the tales of fierce warriors and skilled horsemen. Their expertise in metalwork and horsemanship enriched Irish craftsmanship, adding new elements to the island's artistic heritage. The very landscape of Ireland, dotted with ancient burial mounds and fortifications, whispers of their presence. The story of the Alani is a reminder that history is not a straight line, but rather a tapestry of interwoven threads. It is a story of migration, of adaptation, of the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity, and it is a story that continues to resonate today, reminding us that even in the midst of chaos and upheaval, hope can blossom in the most unexpected of places.